Hi, my name is Karina Akidal. I'm the managing editor of Canadian Auto Dealer, and I'm here with Michelle Denogean of Roadster. So, Michelle, I understand you have a new study that's coming out mid-October, and that this study will be very interesting to dealers, in fact, very important for them to review. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about what this study is exactly and a little bit of a background about how it came to be.
Sure. Thanks, Karina, and thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it. You know, I think we talked months ago when we did our first dealer impact study. And so back in May, we thought, with everything that was happening in the world, and especially with all the state restrictions and, around the North America, we said, well, we should really, it's a once in a lifetime sort of opportunity why we would never wish everything that's happening from a health perspective on anyone. It's fascinating from an industry perspective because you had all of these dealerships that were closed and or only online or by appointment, right? So we wanted to study that phenomenon because clearly we were all going to have to try on some new strategies. And so we did that back in May. And what we really were trying to find out in May was, how was digital retailing helping to make dealerships profitable, but also even more so to hit the bottom line with efficiency gains. Like, can they be more productive? Because a lot of dealerships, especially at that time, unfortunately had to furlough staff and things like that. And so they were doing more with less. And so that was wave one. And we can talk about wave two in the context of that. But, we fast forwarded a few months and we said to ourselves, it's now, we've been living in it for a little bit longer. And we also know that a lot of the showrooms are now back open. So we wanted to understand in particular this idea of efficiency, because I think, profitability is so unique to the dealership, but efficiency is something we can all learn from. And I think through COVID-19, it's really bubbled up as, hey, look, we can actually do more than we thought we could per person. And so we really wanted to dive deep. So this wave in September, we surveyed 320 dealers specifically about efficiency gains that they've seen in their showroom. And then we've also done a survey with 1,000 consumers to just understand the other side of that efficiency. So if the dealers are saying, and this is a little bit of a sneak peek, Karina, if the dealers are saying that they were able to sell more units per salesperson, what was the consumer experience? Did the consumer actually feel like they were saving more time, right? And so that was really the impetus for the study and the subject matter of what we really went deep on.
Great. Well, I think a lot of dealers, myself included, will be excited to see the survey when it comes out. Since I'm looking for a bit of a sneak peek, and you provided a bit of that already, is there any chance that you can reveal a few stats that were in the report?
Sure, of course, always for you. There's a lot of really great information in there because we dove so deep into the subject. But the things I would say is, first of all, and I should give credit where credit's due, we partnered with NADA to do the study. And so they gave us a lot of great background data. And one of the big nuggets was just historically what units per salesperson has looked like. And so what's really fascinating, I didn't even know it went back this far. Since 1985, the number of units sold per salesperson has not fundamentally changed. It has really stayed at like 9 to 10 units. So no matter what we have done as an industry, what we've tried to do, we really haven't been able, on average, of course, you always have, salespeople that are able to sell, 20, 25 units per. But on average, we just really haven't been able to move the needle since 1985. And so for the first time, what we're actually seeing both in the NADA sample, their larger sample set, and in our survey, is that we have moved the needle. And so according to our dealer impact study, where in May, when we did the first wave, we saw us move from 10 to 13 units per salesperson. In September, when we did this second wave, we found that it was actually 16 units. And that's huge. It's like 60% increase over what the NADA standards typically are. And so when you think about that, I think there's a lot that you have to unpack with, well, why are we able to all of a sudden sell so many more units? Was it around the fact that, Was it just we had less people and a lot more sales? And what I will reveal is that it definitely was a little bit more sales as things recovered, especially in September, but it was not enough to account for the actual number of units being sold per person. It's definitely efficiency gains. And the other thing I'll leave you with is on the consumer side, that 63% of consumers said that they actually had a way more efficient experience than the last they purchased the car. So it's always about both, right? Like you can't have one without the other. If the customer is having a more efficient experience and they're saving time, then you better bet that the salesperson can save time too, which just frees them up to work with a lot more customers. Now, why this is happening, I'll leave that for the full study.
Is there a specific date you see the study coming out, or it's just hovering around mid-October?
Yeah, we are targeting the week of October 15th to launch the study. Right now, we have all of the findings, and we've partnered with NADA to also understand what their data tells us and what they're hearing. So we're working on a white paper right now, and that's the week that we'll be launching it.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Michelle, for taking the time to do this interview. And as always, I wish you and your family good health and safety during this time.
Thank you, Karina. You too.